the Finance Committee meeting on Wednesday, October 25th at 5 o'clock. Miss Sandy, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Art?
Here.
Mr. Girlinghouse? Mr. King?
Here.
Mr. Talbert?
Here. Jennifer's not going to be here today. She told us at the last meeting because we had changed the date, she wasn't going to make it. I wanted to talk about a couple things. Well, first off, I guess we're going to talk about old business in the budget. I don't know if y'all noticed. I mean, I just gave y'all a handout. I got a request from the airport district. They have some expenses that they're going to incur in 2018. They're probably going to get that property on the 2nd. I think the donation is going to happen on the 2nd, the closing. Well, they're going to need to do an appraisal on it. They're going to have an audit, county, insurance, and legal expenses. They've asked us to allocate $35,000 for fiscal 2018. Also, I think last week they signed a grant, or the parish applied for a grant in the sum of $39,000 for the airport for some engineering fees and things that they're incurring currently. There seems to be some discrepancy as to whether the parish can give them the money or not. I apologize, I didn't mute my own phone. How that's going to work. I talked to Chris on the way he thinks it's going to be resolved. However, I don't know if y'all want to do it now or do it later. They've got to have that money. Now, they can theoretically wait till 2018 to get the money, but if there's any hang-up, basically, if there's any hang-up, that money was given to the parish as part of it's actually sitting at DOT, at the state. But the application was made on behalf of the airport.
You're talking about the grant money?
Grant money.
Okay.
Was made on behalf of the airport by the parish on behalf of the airport. There seems to be some discrepancy since, y'all don't know if y'all remember, the airport had, they did RFQs, hired an engineering firm, the whole deal, to handle them through the whole process of seeking federal funds and the whole deal. And we said grace over that contract at a meeting not that long ago, right, John?
That is correct.
So they've entered into this contract already. There seemed to be some discrepancy since they handled the RFQs and the person in charge of grants at our parish didn't handle the RFQs as to whether the parish money can go to them. So in essence, what I'm telling you is we need to allocate $35,000 to them, and we might need to consider allocating another $39,000 to them in case that money becomes in jeopardy, because that money has been basically spent already. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if there's some hang up on how that money can get transferred to them,
okay,
then we need to be prepared to do that. So I'd like that we at least allocate the $35,000. I'm in the budget to allocate $35,000 tonight.
We'll ask the council, full council.
We'll amend the budget as we go through it, and then the amended budget will come to the full council, and they'll, in December when they ratify, yay or nay.
Yeah.
We don't have to bring every little item to them as we do it. We'll just, this is a document that's going to be a working process.
Until we approve the final.
The finished document will come to them. So the question is, do we want to do, I guess the most prudent thing is to make the amendment of the $35,000 tonight. But understand that even though we're only doing it for $35,000, if they can't get, Chris feels confident they can get it worked out. If they can't get it worked out, understand that we're going to have to come back and allocate the $39,000, because that money, they did everything they were supposed to do. It might be a legalese issue, and so if that happens, it just happens. So can we get a motion to amend the budget to allocate 30?
You realize y'all are just a committee. You have no authority to amend it.
Well, I mean, okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to make a recommendation to the council. So we need to vote on a recommendation.
And then
need a motion to recommend.
We're not. We're just going to make a recommendation for the. So, I mean, this budget is a work in process, right? So we're gonna talk about the budget and make recommendations on the budget. So we're gonna vote on the recommendations. We don't have to address every recommendation every night. we've got a recommendation, the last night, we'll vote on the final process. We don't have to lift them every day, every night to amend the budget. So we could, since we're talking about, I mean, that was the whole purpose of putting the budget on the agenda. We have an idea to discuss and budget amendments for 18.
I thought you were wanting to take action.
We're just, what I want to do is, whether we're going to make a recommendation to amend or whatever, I guess what I'm saying is, this committee is going to review the budget. If we want to make a change to it, we as a group need to vote on it. Send that change, make the notation on the budget, and then those notated changes will go to the council as a whole. Isn't that how you would have, that's how you would go
Instead
about
of doing
changing?
each one
I thought
every
you were
time.
trying to say y'all were amending the budget so
Oh,
they
no,
could
we're-
get the 35,000 now.
No,
No, because they don't even
this
need it.
money,
Yeah.
this is 2018 money. What I'm saying is that we very well might have to fund 2017 expenditures in 2018 at the tune of 39,000 if there's a problem with the grant.
So we'll know that right down the
We'll
road a
know
little
that,
ways.
we'll know that in a few weeks. I think they're trying to get those items worked out, so I mean, I talked to Chris today, he thinks they're gonna be worked out, that's why we're not gonna put the 39,000 on it now. He thinks that they've resolved how to.
But
how to do
this
that.
is money that's gonna have to be
This
done
is
no
money
matter
that-
what.
This is money that they need. This is money that nobody can grant them. LEDC can't, LEDC I think is gonna actually give them some money when they get the properties to secure insurance initially. But LEDC cannot fund every dollar that they're gonna need to get this done. I mean, there are things that they have to do, that are gonna, grant money's not gonna pay for it. They've gotta have insurance on the property once they take ownership. Because the property is not the parish property. The property is gonna be owned by the airport. And they're gonna need the insurance. There are some things that they have to do. They're incurring legal expenses as we speak, getting property never gets drawn up, documents drawn, reviewed with respect to the donation. So there are money that they've got to have for that. So even though, the intent was hopefully that, the parish wasn't going to spend any money, the parish has no option. We started this train down the track. We're going to have to give it seed money as it needs, and $35,000 in 2018 to start a process of getting millions of dollars from the federal government seems like,
Yeah.
we're immediately going to, start making applications. They're going to make applications to the state. Isn't that they're going to do?
Yeah,
John,
the value of the land as well.
Right.
That's going to be donated.
But so they're going to have assets here shortly. You know what I'm talking about? And they've got part of the process is to an economic development study as to what is the economic benefit. The federal government wants to know, state DOT wants to know, everybody wants to know what the economic benefit of the airport is. Before they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions of dollars in this process. So, they need this 35,000. They requested it. We need a motion requesting us to recommend it. And then we'll make a notation on the budget that we're going to fund them to the fund of 35,000, and then that'll be noted. Sandy, you'll note that on that, and then that'll come with the budget to the full council.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Scooter.
I'll second.
Second by Jeff. Any objection? None. Hey, did y'all get exactly what the money was for? Did y'all understand what the? Okay. Sandy's got it, what the request from them was about, what they had. Did y'all all get the email sent to Jennifer?
From Jennifer.
From Jennifer for Bubba,
Yes.
which is, that's, projections for 2018. You see that 16,000 grants and miscellaneous? Did y'all ever go tie that? Y'all ever looked at that with respect to
16 million.
16 million, yeah, to the 2017 road fund budget?
No, I did not. What
I
page?
mean, if you'll look, we really got little. If you go look at the 2017 road fund budget to date, and you look at, 2000 to date original, we had in state grants, or federal grants, 4 million. State shared revenue at 12 million. If you notice, year-to-date actual that she gave us, we've only received federal grants of 90,000, state grants of 300,000, and shared revenue of
But
245,000.
with that much supposed to be coming. Is that
Well,
correct?
Yeah, but heck, we
I know, we
in
2 months.
friggin' October.
Yeah, we
I
got-
mean, you know what I'm talking about? So in essence, it appears to me, I could be wrong, it appears to me those numbers of grants and other miscellaneous are what you hope happen. But it doesn't appear that it didn't happen in 2015.
Well,
It didn't happen in 2016. It doesn't appear,
is that
to
because we
be.
didn't have projects shovel ready, or do you know?
I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the MPO, we didn't have anything on the MPO. I'm
Right,
not sure.
and there's a lot
situation.
lined out now,
My
but it's in the future.
question is, you know, we go through this long process on road evaluation for
Right.
the overlay program so that we meet state requirements if they give us funds. But it doesn't appear that we're getting any funds. Any roads that we're fixing, we're basically fixing on our own
Out of 3/4% tax,
out of the 3/4% tax. So if you go look at the thing that Jennifer sent for Bubba,
right?
you got projected ad valorem, projected sales, then grants and other miscellaneous. So we can really just not worry about grants and other miscellaneous because you don't know if you get it or not.
Okay,
First line is DPW employees, then the operation of DPW, any equipment rentals at DPW. Then there's 5.8 million from maintenance of roads, streets, normal maintenance, you know, whatever, litter overlay, the whole deal. Now, it says that there's additional 2 million for parish transportation.
is that
Which-
included in that
I
5.8?
don't know if that's in the 5 million. It wasn't clear. Bubba, did you have an understanding, was the 2 million from parish transportation, was that included in the 5.8, or was that money coming at a later date? Okay. And then, you know, we got maintenance of ditches, 500, maintenance of bridges, 1.2, capital purchase of 100,000. And then, you know, we've got the fees to collect the sales tax fees, collect ad valorem. And
Those
then,
go to the sheriff?
huh?
Do those fees go to the sheriff?
Sales tax will go to the school board, and ad valorem will go to sheriff.
That's right, okay.
And then grant-funded projects are 17.75 million, and then grants and other miscellaneous 16.3. So basically what she's telling us is the difference between 17.75 and 16.347 is our money that's matched on that stuff.
Okay,
And then the 4.662 is debt service. So we know that debt service is something that we gotta pay.
Yeah.
So when you look down there, you got a $5.3 million in deficit, which, if you go back and look, that's basically the maintenance of roads. So it looks like if you do an overlay, you're just attacking money that you saved in the past.
you get rid of that.
So which would leave us with 13.42.
Yeah.
13.492 million. And then she expects, well, then after you take that out, leaves 8. And then in 2019, based on road work they project to do, that they're going to take another 6.3 million, which would basically leave the road fund with like $1.7 million in 1.8.
1.8, yeah.
So when you look at it, you know, I know you look at the road fund over here, it's kind of confusing, but when you come back and look at it
This
in a
way.
simplified form, you
Right.
get an idea that basically the road fund's a DPW fund.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? The only road overlay money that's being allocated is money that you're pulling out of the road fund that you save.
yeah, she's adding up over a year or so and then doing a decent project at a time.
Did y'all look at the admin transfer that there's?
The 4.6 in debt services, ain't that what we basically paying back for
That's
what
the
we've already
bond.
That's
done?
on the bond for overlay.
That's the
The
road
original
overlay
overlay.
is to fund, to get the tax back,
It's
basically.
just supposed to be numbered.
Well, the road fund is Fund 145, which is, it's kind of in alphabet, kind of gets in order for the tax back.
I'll throw it back over. You need but a
I'm
few
in the
pages.
I'm 2/3 back in the deal. Now, see the Parish Transportation Act Capital Outlay Fund, I guess that's That's where the 2 million is coming from. You see what I'm saying? If you go to Fund 225, that's where the 6 million is coming from. I guess the reason I've talked about this is
All right.
we all know that, that is the one thing that tends to be, everybody wants to know what we're going to do for roads, what we're going to fix roads, whatever. The rest of the the rest of the budget kind of is what it is. We need to understand exactly what's going on in DPW and how the money's being spent, where, you know what I'm saying, and what we're gonna do. So my question, I know I think 2 million, I guess 2 million of that 5.3 is coming from Parish Road Transportation Fund, which I guess comes from the state, is all I can think.
Yeah.
Because it's a fund that she's got back here, it's Fund 225, I don't remember.
Right, 225, okay.
That is the Parish
Transportation.
and maintenance road. So revenue,
Is that
she's
2018 you got?
yeah, she's transferring, she basically looks like she's transferring 2 million, or gonna expend 2 million in 2018 out of this fund, which would leave it a balance of 923,000. So I just think that we all need to study about, where the money in this fund is going in, because that's the thing that we're all getting questioned about, is where the roads are getting done.
Well, didn't we hear the other night 7 to 9 or 9 to 12 in overlays for 18?
Well, but the question is that
Where'd it
coming,
come-
is that
that's
coming
gotta
from?
be coming from
is
the
that
state.
coming from grant-funded projects from the state?
Yeah.
And historically, if you go back and look at the budgets of 15, 16, and 17, we're projecting state money and not getting it.
So we need to figure out why.
So
Something we're missing.
that's
That's
the
a good thing
I
to bring
wanted-
up, yeah.
And Jennifer's not here, so we can go over her bills real quick.
Yeah.
She gave us a revenue thing, but normally we have road tax and everything else. This is all Bass Pro and the Cuban Economic Development District. And, it looks like Cuban revenues for 17 are back to pretty much where they were pre-flood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
good.
in August they did 60, and the revenue kind of falls behind, so you lose some of that stuff. The August revenue, which probably was sales in June, the way it's booked,
Yeah,
by the time
sounds
they
about
get it
right.
collected and sent to us, was 60, and you come back here in 2017 it's 71. And so it appears that there's an uptick in Cuban crossing.
And I think that'll continue too, and it should continue to climb, the number of people moving into this parish so
Well,
quickly.
if you look what happened, if you look at 2016 and look what the flood did, and then come back and look at how it's rebounded in 2017, it'll be interesting to see what Christmas from 2017 looks like out of Cuban crossing.
I'm hoping that Christmas will be really great for the parish, and the people here will be mostly getting back to normal, hopefully.
Bills paid, she gave us a list of those. The big ones, Regions Bank's just paying notes, Klondike's insurance, Covington, the 321's probably the paying for our,
The back truck.
Payroll, retirement, healthcare, daily tower service. I guess that's the final payment, didn't we, John, didn't we I'm thinking in the September meeting, we take final control over the tower, wasn't it finished at that point in time?
Yeah, I think we released a bond, didn't we?
So, and then, of course, you're looking at, payments that we're responsible for, the DA's office, sheriff's office. So nothing appears to
Coroner's
be
office.
coroner, DIMCO. And I noticed that we've got a pretty substantial payment to the East Baton Rouge. So
Yeah.
does East Baton Rouge handle stuff for us that we're not capable of doing, Sandy? Been
For the
around for a
coroner's
long
office.
time.
Yes.
So is that why they're, okay.
Autopsy.
So they do the autopsy and stuff like that for us?
Okay.
So those are, you know, the bills that were paid in the month of September and October to date. Any questions from anybody? Any comments from the audience? So, any other business y'all need to discuss with respect to new or old business on the finance committee?
I don't think so for me.
Entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Good to make a motion.
I'll
Second by
second.
Mr. Ard, no objection.